What is up, everybody? Welcome in to the Wide Eye Fantasy Corner. You got your boy Bren hosting as always. You got our boy Spoon on the mic. We're down a couple of guys still, but they'll be back next week. At least one of them will. For today,
Hopefully.
we're gonna hopefully. Riley said that he will for sure be back next week. Dalton is still up in the air, but yeah. So we're gonna take a look at everything fantasy for week 4. We're gonna take a look at everything from waiver wire to must starts to must sits, a little bit of everything. We're gonna get to all of it right now. Spoon, how's your week been?
Pretty good, man. Got to stay home and watch football all day Sunday. I usually
Yeah.
work, so that was nice.
How'd
Not
you do
gonna lie.
fantasy wise?
I went. Let's see. I won. I know I lost one. It came down to the end, dude. I was up 7 points, and when the Monday Night Football games came up, I had Gesicki and he had James Cook, and obviously James Cook went off. So I was kind of just hoping for a Gesicki touchdown. That's all I
Yeah.
needed, and I came within 3 points, I believe.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And it sucked, dude. I was hoping for a Gesicki touchdown. That's all I needed.
I went 4-1 in all my leagues.
Okay.
And the one league I lost, you're in with me, the on the border league. And I mean, everybody else in that league scored between like 100 to 130 points. I scored like 90, so I was getting beat by like all but like 2 people.
Yeah.
But my opponent managed to pop off for almost 200 points. Most by like
Yeah.
65 points, dude. It was crazy. I got obliterated in that league, but I won all the other leagues, so it's hard to complain.
Oh, I don't think
But
I picked a team this week for our survivor pool either. Did you see that?
huh?
I don't remember picking a team for our survivor
No,
pool.
no,
Either.
you got eliminated. I mean, you can buy back in.
How did I get eliminated if I didn't buy a
You
team?
lost. What are you talking about? You didn't buy a
I
team.
didn't pick a team. I
You
forgot
got
about it.
eliminated the week before.
No, I didn't. I picked the Seahawks and I picked Washington, and then week 3 I didn't pick a team.
Well, then you're eliminated by default if you don't pick a team.
Well, that's fucking shitty. I was doing so good. Yeah, I didn't even pick.
Well, yeah, you just
Damn,
didn't pick a
bro.
team. Like, well, the good news is you can buy back in
So what if I
because
buy? Well, everybody's eliminated. So if I buy back in and do my one buyback, that means I win, right? Unless Caleb or
no, anybody can buy back now. Since everybody's been eliminated, anybody can buy back for their original or for double their last buyback. So, like, my last buyback was $20. So I'd have to pay $40 to buy back in.
well, fair enough. I guess I'll have to buy back in. That sucks. I wish somebody would have fucking reminded me. I was
I wish
so
somebody would
focused
have
on my
reminded me to set my lineup this week.
yeah.
No,
Well, that's what I
no,
was saying. I was so focused on setting my lineups, and I forgot to pick a team.
dummy.
Oh well. Anyway,
All right, well, let's jump right into this. You want to start with waiver wire or must starts? What do you want to start with?
I mean, we can hit the waiver. I don't have a whole
All right,
lot.
I got a couple. I got a couple at each position here.
Okay.
I got a couple little tidbits and notes. So QBs, a couple ads. Russ Wilson's still looking like he's going to be riding the bench for a little bit longer. So if Justin Fields is available in about 50% of leagues, if he's available in your league, you should if you're struggling at all at the quarterback position, wouldn't be a bad thing to pick him up. He gets the rushing yards. He's been efficient. I still don't think he'll be the starter when Russ comes back, but we can talk more about that a little later.
Yeah.
Andy Dalton, ride the hot
Yep.
hand.
That's
Ride
who
the
I was.
high hand.
That's who I was going to say. And he has a favorable matchup against Cincinnati this week, who
Yeah.
has been just atrocious on defense.
Terrible. So ride the hot hand with Dalton. I don't hate that. Sam Darnold, still available in over 50% of leagues.
Not in our on the border league. I got him.
No.
Help
But
me win this week.
Sammy D has been balling. He's got a tough matchup in Green Bay this week, but he's been
Does.
balling. Moving on to running backs, I just have 2. Braylon Allen and Bucky Irving. Both guys are, primed for if the starter were to get hurt to have massive roles. And even with their starters being solidified and Brees Hall and Rashid White, it's, still good plays.
I mean,
Every once in a while, spot starts, flex starts. What were you going to say?
no, I was just saying I don't hate that. I mean, I said
Okay.
Braylon Allen last week,
Yeah.
and then
He's
Yeah, of
still
course.
available, dude.
He's
People are
dude. Most people don't.
The Brees Hall thing scares people off.
Well,
And I
my
don't
thing is that in a lot of my leagues, my team is just so deep that I can't afford to drop him. Because, like, for instance, and
Yeah.
who am I going to drop? Cup? No. Am I going to
No.
drop DJ Moore? No. Am I going
No.
to drop Pierce? No. And I have Jordan Love and George Kittle as my other two people right now who are out on my bench.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not going
You
to drop
can't, you
any
can't
of them.
drop those guys.
But like, if you're in a deep league, like a 12 to 14 man league, like, I mean,
Even
still,
some 10-man leagues.
even with mine though, like my team is so deep that I don't have room to pick up Allen. But if you're struggling, like if you're 0-3, then you probably need to figure something out. That's where,
Yeah.
if you were one of those people, then yeah, I'd probably pick up one of these guys for sure.
Yeah, if you're 0-3 right now, we feel for you.
Yeah,
It's rough.
I'm not. I'm 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, and 1-2 in my dynasty. So
I'm 1-2 in 2 leagues and 2-1 in 3 leagues. So it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's not the best. So it is what it is.
no.
I would like to say that if you are anywhere between 0-3 or 3-0, please take a second and like the video. If you're anywhere in between, that, just
You
like
got to
the
be in
video,
between.
subscribe to the channel if you're anywhere in between those to let us know that you're in between. So just go ahead and give us a like, give us a subscribe. We really appreciate it. Moving on to wide receiver, riding the hot hand train, Xavier Legette. You know, Adam Thielen goes down with the injury. He's looking to be out at least a couple of weeks. You know, Deontay Johnson can't get all the receptions, so he's going to have to go somewhere else. So Xavier Legette, big body, good wide receiver, young kid. I think he's primed. Sorry, not in his prime. Primed for a little bit of a run here. They have some favorable matchups coming up. I feel like he could have a little run.
So I was going to say, I don't hate picking up Wan'Dale Robinson right now.
Yeah, no, I don't mind.
So
that
the
either.
reason why is because like the targets are there. So right now that Giants offense has hardly anything to work with except Malik Neighbors, and we're seeing Malik Neighbors go off right now. Obviously, he's
leads the
rostered.
league, leads the league in all fantasy points. Everybody, period.
So you're watching him go off. Teams are going to start to double team, possibly just try to play defense against that, which is going to open up Wan'Dale Robinson more. And Wan'Dale Robinson's only rostered right now in sleeper in 34% of the leagues. So I would, if I'm looking for wide receiver depth, I think that's a great guy to pick up right now.
Yeah, I agree. I would definitely take that. I would take that. And if he's available, Darnell Mooney. Darnell Mooney has been, I think he has 15 targets in his last 2 games and catching, I think 13 of those 15 targets. So ever since Kirk's decided to start balling again, that he's getting the targets, he's getting the looks, and I'm a big fan of targets. If you're getting targets, you're getting respect from me. So I would say he's available in quite a bit of leagues. So I would go out and see if he's available, snag him off your waiver, and then I have 2 tight ends as well. Tyler Conklin of the Jets, former Minnesota Viking. My little love for him. Rodgers has targeted him a couple times these past couple games, including a big one last week. He's got a 90% snap share amongst tight ends on the team, so he can block, he can catch. Rodgers likes him. I really think it's a strong move. And then the other obvious one, probably picked up in most leagues, but he started kind of slow, so somebody may have dropped him, is Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet is, I think he's coming off 11 targets and 10 receptions. And if that kind of product continues, then we're in for a huge season out of him. Now, I don't know if he'll be averaging 11 targets a game by any means, but
that was just outrageous.
Huge game for him. Caleb threw the ball 50 times. I don't think that's the route they're looking to go for Caleb Williams' success, but they had to last week, so they did it, and Cole Kmet reaped the benefits. So, he's worth stashing. He's worth stashing if you're struggling at the tight end position. You got somebody who's hurt. You had Evan Ingram. Strange got taken off the waiver before you get to him. Maybe somebody dropped Cole Kmet. Just go take a look, see if they're out there. You might as well can't hurt to look. Can't hurt to look. You got anybody else you want to mention, Spoon, before we move on to must starts?
No, I think we're good.
No? Cool.
It's
all right.
Sold.
I'm going to start with quarterback. I'm going to start with my must start quarterback of the week is C.J. Stroud. I think he is primed. I think he is ready. He struggled heavily against the Minnesota Vikings defense through 2 picks, which is pick 6 and 7 of his career. He's thrown 5 in his in this entire career so far, and he threw 2 in 1 game. So just the odds are in your favor that he's going to have a bounce back game, going to have a good game. He's got a favorable matchup. I like it a lot. I say start CJ Stroud as my quarterback of the week. Spoon?
I'm going to go in a different approach here because I see
Yeah.
somebody that I would sit,
Okay.
and that's Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
So not only has Anthony Richardson not been playing great at all, he's about to go into Pittsburgh and play the Steelers.
Yeah.
Very tough defense. I would
Very tough.
probably look to bench Richardson here if he is your starter and probably put whoever else is your backup
Yeah.
right now.
If you can get a quarterback spot start this week, somebody on the
Yep.
waiver, Sam Darnold, Justin Fields, Andy Dalton, somebody with a favorable matchup, I would take them over Richardson. I really thought the Colts were going to be better. Richardson is looking rough from a throwing perspective.
Yes.
So looking very Jamarcus Russell-y. Big arm, but no accuracy, and way more athletic than Russell, obviously. But that is what it is. Well, my must-start running back of the week is Bijan Robinson. Another favorable matchup with a top guy in the league. I think that Philly showed that if you control the clock against New Orleans, you can beat them and don't give their offense the ball. Don't let their offense have explosive plays. And I think that's what Atlanta is going to look to do. They're going to try to hold the ball, keep possession, and limit explosive plays from New Orleans. So I really look for Bijan Robinson to have a massive week for the Atlanta Falcons.
That's fair. Man, I'm struggling. I see a lot of people that at the top that I just want to sit right now.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna go that route again, honestly.
Yeah, sure. Do it. Go.
One of them who stood out, I just lost it. Give me 2 seconds. It was Kyren Williams against the Bears defense.
Yeah. That's a huge sit.
That looks very tough. I mean, obviously, I'm not saying like if he's your RB1 and you don't have a lot of running back depth, absolutely not. Like you keep him. But I like if you have a team with like maybe David Montgomery and James Conner, who are great other running backs you would start. I would think about possibly sitting Kyren Williams on this one.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with that pretty heavily. Chicago's defense, I said it last week, they're for real. That defense is for real over in Chicago. I think they're averaging like 19 points a game. Hold on, I'm pulling it up right now with their rushing.
And it's possible if you have Kyren Williams, you might have this guy that's sitting on your bench that I would start. And that's Devin Singletary. You know why? Because he's playing against the Cowboys this week. The Cowboys defense is a...
Okay, hold on.
It's a shitstorm. I would start this.
Don't do that. The Cowboys are going to roll the Giants by 20. It's going to happen.
No, they're not. I'm just
10
saying,
to 30. 30 to 10.
I would definitely highly consider putting Singletary there because Dallas's defense has looked like shit. And that is coming from a Cowboys fan.
It has looked like shit, but this is the Giants offense we're talking about. The Cowboys are going to try to control.
They did fine against Cleveland, just like we did. We did okay against Cleveland. We beat Cleveland by 2 scores, 17 points, something like that.
We'll get more into this
the whole time.
We'll get more into this subject on tomorrow's episode when the actual podcast comes out. We'll get more into the talking about wins and losses and teams. I think the Cowboys are going to roll on Thursday. I think they're going to roll on Thursday.
I would still start him.
All right. I'm going to move on to my must-start tight end of the week.
Trey, wide receiver.
Well, we're going to say wide receiver for last.
Okay.
I'll just say wide receiver for the very end of the show. I mean, why not, right?
Go ahead.
I'm going to go with Trey McBride. He's going up against Washington, and you just saw what Washington's defense can do, and that's give up a lot of points. Marvin Harrison, Trey McBride, both huge starts, but Trey McBride especially, I think he's primed. I think they're going to play a lot of cover. They're gonna do Mel Kiper's worst case scenario and play a lot of cover 2. We should ban the cover 2. I mean, it's the dumbest thing ever. But I think they're going to do a lot of that, and that's going to leave the middle of the field very open, and I think Trey McBride will be able to capitalize on that. I'm seeing at least 6 catches for 65, 70 yards and a touchdown. I'm looking for a big week out of him. Looking for a big week.
I don't hate that. I actually really like that. I feel like Washington struggled a little bit against defending the bigger wide receivers and the tight ends.
Yeah.
From what I saw last night. So I like that. I'm also keeping an eye on Brock Bowers this week. I think he's going to have
He
a
was my
big.
other.
He was your other one. Yeah, I think he's
Yeah.
going to have a big bounce back game this week, especially against Cleveland, who's obviously been struggling as well on defense.
Yeah, he only had like 7 or 8 points last week, and I said it
Yeah,
last week. I said like he's my start of the week, like set it and forget it type situation, and I still stand on that. Like it's a down week, but for tight ends, like 7 to 12 points is acceptable. It's not
right.
amazing, but it's acceptable. So just put faith in Bowers. He'll come through. Love this kid. Love what he's doing. Love the start.
If you have Kyle Pitts and you have another tight end, I would consider sitting Kyle Pitts because
You're
he's
going from start of the week to sit him.
yes, and that is because he's going against New Orleans defense.
You would have
And
had a huge come up last week if he'd have managed to pull off that big long pass he had that got him down
Yep.
to the 1. I thought
know.
as soon as that happened, he got down to the 1 yard line, like a 40-yard pass. I was like, oh, that was 10 points right there.
I get that his targets have steadily been going up each week, but it's just after watching that Eagles offense struggle so bad. I'm honestly every offense that I've watched go against the Saints has struggled.
Yeah.
So I would
Saints
look
are
to
for real. Saints
they
are for real. We were very disrespectful to the Saints and quite frankly the entire NFC South this offseason, and I apologize.
We were.
I apologize.
Yeah, we were. All right.
All right. Wide receivers?
Yeah, I have a good
right.
one. I think.
Let's close out the show. I'll let you go first.
So I'm kind of going towards your Trey McBride pick, and I'm picking Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
So Washington, from what I saw last night, they kind of struggled against the outside receiver. Yeah, their defense started to. They definitely struggled a little bit. I feel like Cincinnati should have been able to win that game or pull it out. They just had no defense. They couldn't stop anything. But their defense struggled against obviously Jamar Chase and Marvin Harrison. I'm not saying he is Jamar Chase, but he's up there. He's just as good.
Yeah.
So
he has the potential to be one of those top 5 guys. And I would like to say, quick caveat to all of this, the Bengals defense was getting torched all night by this Commanders team and vice versa, but Jaden Daniels was balling. I mean, if that kid can look like that all the time, he will go down as a top 5 quarterback ever. Now, I don't know if he can do that. I'm not saying he will do that. I'm just saying if he can play at that level, like this is the upside he had. You saw it last night. He walked into Cincinnati against Joe Burrow and went toe-to-toe, punch for punch, and came out on top. That's what you thought he could do, and he's proven he can do it. I'm so excited to see what he can do in the future. Super pumped for this kid. But my wide receiver must start of the week is Amon-Ra St. Brown for the Detroit Lions against Seattle. I think that they are going to key in on the run, and I think Amon-Ra is primed for like a 10-catch, 170-yard day. Like straight up, like he's just gonna ball. And the reason I know that is because I'm facing him in my main fantasy league this week. So naturally, he's gonna pop off. I promise you.
I also really like Nico Collins against Jacksonville this week.
Yep,
I think that's a great matchup. I should have mentioned him on the waiver pickup, but I'm gonna bring up another guy, and it's ride the hot hand, and that's Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, these are the things you don't get if you only watch the beginning of the video. You got to stick around to the end so you can get the real secrets.
Deontay Johnson just got 14 targets from Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton has a favorite receiver, and that's
his name's Deontay.
So that's my waiver wire. Probably I missed it, but that's my waiver wire pickup of the week. God damn it! I should have told you that, Brenner. But that is my waiver wire pickup.
What was that? What was your waiver wire pick of the week? Can you repeat it for me one more time?
We are in a couple leagues together, and I do plan on picking up.
I don't need your scrub ass picks. I got my own scrub ass.
But I'm gonna ride the hot hand, and he's also going against Cincinnati, who we watched them struggle.
Yeah,
against the pass last night.
I do think there's something to be said about the backup quarterback phenomenon, where when the backup quarterback comes in, you're seeing it for Green Bay. The defenses don't quite know how to play him yet. They need a couple of games, and so that helps. So
it's weird
we'll see how they adjust.
Like a lot of the, like for instance, Andy Dalton, we've seen a lot of games like that they could. I mean, I know you have to go back like 2-3 years, but you could see like what he likes to read and stuff, and try to go off of that.
Yeah,
but yeah,
that's fair.
I get your point.
That's fair. Hey, we'll see. We're gonna find. I guarantee we will find out. I guarantee it. But all right, that's our fantasy corner of the week episode. Make sure to hit your waiver wires, start the guys we said, don't start the guys we said, and then hold us accountable next week in the comment section. Make sure to check out the actual podcast dropping tomorrow, Wednesday. Every Wednesday we drop it. We will see y'all later.